how would you bring democratic values, democratic philosophy to the city council?
I think that being on the mall in Washington, D.C., January 2009 was part of what got me thinking more and more about when it would be that I would actually take the plunge and make the personal commitment to run for public service. So I'm a child of Obama. We went to the same college a couple years apart. I'm inspired by him, and I'm inspired to bring those democratic values, into public service. I think that the responsibility to serve has waned so tremendously in this society that it's really time for everybody to start stepping up.
Which we can kind of see this election, with nobody running except for a few of you guys.
I think so. I think I was very, very surprised. When I got into this race, I thought that I was going to be at least the fourth candidate getting in. And then our incumbents decided not to run for probably good reasons. But I was particularly surprised that there weren't more people who stepped up as well. But I'd also like to say that it's not just the city council. I mean, I think that our commission structure in the city needs to be looked at to make sure that the incredible talent that we've got in this community, whether it's the university or just people with experience in many issues, that they can really be brought in and valued and empowered to participate in the city. And I don't think that that's the case now. I serve on the Bike Advisory Commission. We get together, once a month. Now those meetings have been downgraded to once every 2 months. And it's not at all clear that the resource that we've got as a Bike Advisory Commission is really being taken advantage of. Not just to advise the staff, but really to do things for the city. I mean, to serve the city. Not just to second guess staff or pass judgment on staff, but to promote the things that the city wants to promote. I think the city can be part of encouraging volunteerism and encouraging public service to a much greater extent than we have in the past. The city, for example, has an Adopt a Park program. And my family adopted Arroyo Park right after it was built. We worked to plant trees with the other people. We kind of kept the area behind the 4 houses that are next to our house and abut the park. And we worked to keep those paths up and trim those trees and plant native species and such. I mean, that's volunteerism that the city is promoting. And then that seems to have waned now, and the Adopt a Park program has kind of faded away. I'd like to bring things like that back because we've got people in the community that want to help, and I think we need to take advantage of that.
And so you would strengthen the commission?
Yeah, I think I'd look to I think I'd look to recast and take a hard look at the commission to make sure that people's input is valued and that what people are prepared to give can be received. And there may be more of a friction now between the staff, who have tremendous jobs to do and more things to do in the course of the day than they can possibly do. But I'd look to make the commissions helpful to moving the city forward in as many ways as we possibly can. And so, the tree commission can be involved certainly in making decisions about which trees go where and what's going to be taken out, but they can also become, advocates of a sort. And ditto with the Bike Advisory Commission, and maybe even the Finance Commission can play some role in kind of helping people understand finances in these tough economic times through certain forms of outreach. So
currently, do they not have a relationship to the city council?
Any
of the commissions?
Oh, the commissions certainly do, but I think that it can be strengthened, and I think that the level of input that we're getting on commissions, there might be ways in which we can actually be a little more proactive in seeking people out. I mean, there's 2 very, very exciting recent examples of this. One was the city getting connected up with the California Lighting Technology Center at UC Davis to look at our street lamps, and it resulted in a project with the university that's going to save 40% on the street lamp lighting costs for the city of Davis. I mean, that's a partnership, and it kind of came about through different twists and turns. I think the city should be kind of looking for people like that in the community who can help us out. It's a great resource. The other one that's enormous is the 2 professors on campus, Schroeder and Jablanicus, who came together to look at our wastewater plant, and the city was estimating somewhere between 150 million and maybe 180 to 90 million in cost to redo our wastewater. And we turned it over to the professors and said, what would you do if you were really going to do it from scratch and do it right use our existing resources, and their estimate was we can probably cut that by about 50%. So that's an example of looking for expertise in our community, looking for people who want to serve, and finding the right way to bring them into the process. But if we don't do that proactively, I think people are going to sit back and assume, well, they must know what they're doing, or they don't want my help. And I'd like to change that. I mean, I'd like to really let people know that good ideas are welcome and going to be well received.